I made my daughter's boyfriend buy a new shirt because it was disrespectful.
What was on it?
A naked lady. The 23rd of December, my daughter's 19, boyfriend 19, came for dinner. We had a dinner then because he's going away with his family for Christmas.
Oh, that's nice.
He arrived, rang the bell, and I answered the door. He came in, took off his jacket, and that's when I saw it. He was wearing a t-shirt that said, "It's not gonna suck itself."
Buddy.
To family get together?
You wore that shirt to the family get-together night?
The dad is definitely wearing a tie with this, like a vest on kind of thing. You know what I'm talking about? Like a Christmas kind of vest. Business guy.
I see it. I would really hope he'd be wearing like a pairing shirt.
Oh.
You're like,
No, this is what he's wearing. This is what he's wearing. Son's wearing that. Kid's wearing that. The dad's wearing $20 is $20. I'm not gay, but $20 is $20. That's the shirt he's wearing.
He just wears a shirt that says, "I love to suck." By the way, comes from user Freud's Driver. If you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit and submit your story there. I'm Dakota.
I'm Riley.
We're going to talk about whatever this story has in store for us, and you're going to talk about whatever you want to talk about in our comments.
Yeah, you have the freedom.
Those are our roles. That is what we do for each other. That's what we provide. So OP says, I took one look at that shirt and I asked him if he had any money. He said no, and asked why.
That is kind of weird.
Yeah, I mean, you can automatically assume anyone wearing that shirt probably doesn't have a lot of money.
Hey man, you got $1?
Yeah, you have any money? I was just wondering, I might take you up on your offer. He said no and asked why. I told him that the shirt showed a marked lack of respect for both my daughter and my wife. I pulled two 20s out of my wallet and quietly ushered him back out the door. Told him there's a Walmart 3 miles away and to buy a more respectful shirt and come back with it on.
Fair.
Honestly, fair. Yeah, you gave the man $40 of t-shirt money?
Dude, that's $10 t-shirt money, $30 in my pocket.
Yeah, $5 t-shirt money.
Oh, shoot.
Dude, I'm going to the dollar store. Mind you, this whole exchange took place between him and I without an audience.
That's good.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Not a scene.
Walmart has some pretty good clothes.
They do.
They got some nice dress shirts. You could probably come back in a full Christmas dinner outfit.
I had most of my work button-ups when I worked in restaurants, so I got them from Walmart.
Yeah, it's nice.
Totally works. He was gone for 15 minutes, came back with a nice polo shirt on. We had a nice dinner together, and nothing was mentioned of the incident.
Okay.
Right? And that should be the end of the story, but we have like 7/8 of the story left to read.
Dude, what?
No.
You handled that as a man. Also, I'm proud of you because this young man, you're giving him an example of what a father would do and what you would want a father to do.
It is true. I mean, you know, you've handled this flawlessly.
This is perfect.
You can't read the "it's ain't gonna suck itself" shirt. You can't wear that to family night. You can't wear that to family dinner. It ain't gonna suck itself is insane.
Okay, so?
The next day, my daughter came to me and her mother and told us what I did, humiliated him. They aren't in breakup territory or anything, and no yelling or anything of the sort has happened. My wife did tell me I could have handled it differently. So Reddit, am I wrong for handling it this way? And if so, how could I have handled it? And there's an edit.
Dude, your wife didn't back you up?
Yeah,
That's a red flag.
I'm gonna read this edit real quick. I'm 57, 10 years away from the funniest number. And a long-haul truck driver, so I've...
No!
I drive 1,800 miles in a night. I don't.
Honestly, I think you're giving long-haul truckers a good name here, because I think most people would presume a long-haul trucker would have, like, ripped this kid's arms off and beat him with them.
Or been like,
Hell yeah, I like that shirt, buddy.
Oh, why don't you unzip, son?
I'll help you right now.
You're right. Your shirt is very informative.
dude, this guy's so much better.
So, as a long-haul truck driver, I've had my share of bad moments. Most of us guys here can remember stupid things that we did as teens, even into our 20s. The ones that stand out for me are the ones where someone didn't react with anger or malice. They were the ones that someone reacted with constructive kindness. Ones where a quiet redemption was offered. Where a mirror was quietly held up to my behavior. Those are the ones I learned from and appreciated the most. Hopefully he comes out the other side with a new appreciation for kindness offered quietly and without fanfare. Just my thoughts here. There is an update. My brother, you did everything perfectly.
It is a humiliating thing but you didn't do it in front of everyone. You gave him $40. Did he give you any money back? Because I know for dang sure that polo did not cost $40.
Not from the Walton store. Does he not understand? Like, first of all, his humiliation came from himself. He humiliated himself.
Yeah.
And also he got saved from the humiliation being way worse.
You should be grateful for that. You should.
Yeah.
And you should also have so much respect for this man because he told you to change. Dude.
This man just saved your social standing with the entire family.
My God, I would love to meet this man, honestly.
Where is your daughter's brain, by the way? Did she not know he was wearing that shirt under the jacket? I can't imagine bringing, like, you know, I don't know what the female equivalent of that shirt is. But
no. I know what it is. Is if a girl came in with those juicy yoga pants on, you know, where it says, like, juicy over the butt?
But I mean, like, that is like a brand. Like, this was a command. This shirt was basically a command. It said, well, take my pants off, slurp my. Well, sorry, I didn't mean to say it like that.
Schlong.
Take my pants off and get to work.
Well, that's feel like
crazy.
I feel like the pants at a family dinner is like, oh, look at my juicy, flamboyant Boombas.
Yeah, I don't know. It'd have to be more like
kiss me. Anyways, I get your point though.
It would have to be a shirt that said like
Flanangle. Flanangle my knobs.
This is really bad. A shirt that says fresh clam chowder and just an arrow pointing down. That would be like a, hey, babe, you cannot wear that to my dinner with my family. You 1000% can't do that. I'm not letting anyone wear that shirt to my family dinner.
But that could also be said as a brand. There's no command.
I mean, I'm still, the point being, not letting that one, not being like, well, I'm going to let my partner express themselves however they deem fit.
Yeah, God. No, man, I'm also very disappointed in your wife. I think that's the person I'm most disappointed in.
Yeah, I mean, or OP's daughter.
Also, if this was my daughter, I'd be like, girl, you were worth more than this, than to be sexualized.
Yeah, you know, at your own family dinner is crazy.
During Christmas. And they're making this dinner
time.
And they're doing this dinner for him because he won't be able to see her daughter for Christmas.
He's talking about what's something in Christmas you gotta suck? The Yule log?
I don't know, the candy can?
You gotta suck. Maybe he was talking about all the ashes in the fireplace that need to be sucked up before they start the new fire.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Golly.
Anyway, update. After reading these comments and listening to everyone's point of view, I sat my daughter down this morning and asked her what her boyfriend actually said to her. This changes my opinion of him.
Oh gosh, he's a little
liar. He's annoying.
He's manipulative. That manipulating, conniving.
Yeah. Apparently, he had not told my daughter what the phrase was on the shirt, but did tell her accurately what I said to him and asked him to do. He didn't use the word humiliated. That was my daughter's interpretation. Her rush to defend him came from our examples. Apparently, she's taken note of times I've defended my wife and vice versa. She also took note of our disagreements in private after the fact. She is going to talk to him when he gets back tomorrow to follow up on why he thought the shirt was appropriate for the family setting. I'll update again after that conversation. Yes.
Dude. Another point to this dad, because he raised his daughter right.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Daughter was being lied to.
Yo, dude. Also, props to you, dad, for straightening this out.
Yeah.
Holy cow. Dude, this is a beautiful play-by-play.
This is a good playbook.
Of what to do. This is, oh my gosh.
We're seeing behind the curtain on how the top dogs run it.
Yeah, the 1%ers.
The 1%'s running their ships right now. And we do have that other update. So my daughter called him about an hour ago, and this will be informative. She asked him why he hadn't told her what the shirt said when he talked to her. His reply was telling. He said, because it was embarrassing. Hey, stupid. Why'd you wear it to the dinner?
Dude, you literally could have never, ever spoken about this again, and it would have been between man to man.
Yeah.
Man to man, but you had to lie.
You had to. You just had to go and fib yourself, didn't you, boy? I mean, my guy.
This is a boy. He could have been a man.
Boy.
But he failed the man test.
Then she went on to ask him why he wore it originally, and he admitted that the shirt had been a gift from his older brother, 21, and that the older brother had dared him to and called him chicken when he objected, etc. It was dumb sibling crap, apparently.
I don't believe that.
I mean, that would be pretty dumb.
I wouldn't believe it at all.
She went on to tell him that none of what he'd done was cool and that she really liked him and that he'd always been kind to her. She said she wasn't breaking up with him, but that these steps needed to be done. First, he needed to explain to his parents the entire situation. Second, he needed to show up in person to our home and bring the money for the shirt and, as she put it, put in a whole butt-kissing session that included the explanation of the dare, etc. She said that if this was handled well, they could talk about moving forward and what that would look like.
Fair.
Balanced and fair.
It's gonna be a very uncomfortable hour. No, uncomfortable day, uncomfortable 20 minutes. You just have to bear like 20 minutes. Maybe 10?
I think you could get this done in 10 minutes.
10 minutes?
It's a 10-minute combo.
10-minute conversation, excruciating, but it can be done.
Yep.
And are you believing this sibling thing?
Well, I mean, you wouldn't have done this to one of your younger siblings.
I wouldn't have.
You wouldn't have
think so.
tried. You wouldn't have tried to get
I
them
would
to
have
eat-
tried.
You wouldn't have tried to get them to wear your lesbians eat what shirt? Yeah, you totally would.
If I knew the family.
And they'd be like, "No, Riley, I can't." You'd be like, "Come on.
Come on.
Chicken.
Come on, Ryder.
Don't you want them to think that you're funny?"
Yeah. I don't know. It's just the way that he lied earlier. I don't know if I believe this.
Yeah.
Anything that comes out of his mouth, I don't
It's
know.
a reliable cover.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just not taking that jacket off. If I'm him, I'm like, "Oh no, I run cold. I run cold. I'll keep my jacket on."
The amount of times I've worn that shirt on like guest meetings, they just see lesbians.
They're like, "Oh, this guy's an ally." Anyway, after the phone call, she talked to her mom and I and admitted that she forgot her worth. She said that I, as long as she had been alive, had never gone out of my way to embarrass her mom, and that I'd always been respectful and not let anyone be disrespectful to her mom. And that made me feel good. So she wasn't going to settle for less. Good for her. I'll update after her visit later tomorrow afternoon.
All right.
And there's an update number 3.
Dude.
She's broken up. She's moving on. She's starting a business. She's becoming an accountant.
At this point, yeah, she's probably becoming a millionaire because of how great this dad did at raising her.
She's touring the facility and picking up slack.
She's picking out her next warehouse for her factory. And she's making very thin walls on the outers of it so it can expand easier.
And she's
whenever it gets
got
to
a
that point.
short skirt and a long jacket. That you didn't catch the touring the facility and picking up slack. That was a line from the Cake song.
Cake song.
Yeah. Long jacket.
Cake, like
I
Cake
want
the
a
artist?
girl who knows what's
Oh,
best.
Cake. Yeah. I got you. My bad. It's been a minute.
Bow, 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 bow. Yeah, it's been too long, man. When's Cake gonna come back? Update 3. This will make those of you following this saga laugh. I received a call this evening from Mr. Boyfriend's parents. Firstly, they are mortified and extremely apologetic. Secondly, and the whole best part of this update, which I have their permission to share, is that his parents are on Reddit and commented on my post in support of the way I handled the situation. They were like, "That was you? That was our kid? And that was you?"
No way.
Oh,
Like,
man.
golly.
Man, this boyfriend can't catch a break,
He
dude.
can't. He
Oh, my
can't.
God.
Dude, imagine getting home. Be like, they already know what you've done once they connected the dots. And it's like, oh, we understand what's
Yeah.
happened.
He comes home and they're like, "Didn't your brother give you like a novelty shirt the other day? What
Oh
did
my
that say
gosh.
again?"
This is so funny.
They told me that they love my daughter and that we had raised her right and had not raised their sons to show this level of disrespect for anyone, let alone his girlfriend. Apparently, boyfriend was following up on one of my daughter's conditions and went to talk to his parents. As the story unfolded, his mom reached for her phone, opened Reddit, and yelled, "Is this about you?" Yeah, what a revelation. To quote his dad, as the son read the first half paragraph, he passed away a little on the inside. So anyways, they're going to come to dinner tomorrow evening with boyfriend. More updates tomorrow night. And we have more updates, people.
Stop it. Dude, I have an equally, I think worse. No, way worse. I have an equally way worse story that it happened the same beats as this. I will tell it later.
And yes, yeah, dude. Update number 4. Dinner was very pleasant. Let me say that his parents are great. Boyfriend showed up with red roses for my daughter and yellow roses for my wife.
Whoa.
Roses for the wife. That's bold. He offered what I thought was a very sincere apology and a card with the entire $40 in it, even though he had given me the change and receipt on the original night. I cooked tonight to give my wife a break. I made an Indian dish called butter chicken with basmati rice. Neither had eaten curry before, but loved it.
That's good. Wow. I was thinking, what if it was like butter chicken?
Butter chicken. Butter chicken, the most accessible form of chicken for the Western palate. The butter chicken.
I love it.
Dude.
I ate some baller chicken last night. I might have to bring it tomorrow and have you guys try it. It's really good.
There's a restaurant down the street from our place.
Indian food? I think I know what you're talking about.
No, it's like a Nepalese place.
Oh.
It's so good.
Sounds good.
Yeah. As it turns out, older brother is the family athlete, JV soccer, varsity soccer, and a sports scholarship for soccer. Is a quintessential jock. Little brother is the exact opposite. He's artistic and has real talent, sensitive, quiet, and felt like he never measured up to big brother and works to gain big brother's respect.
I see.
Yes. Yeah, this could never be you because you'd be too good of a brother.
Me?
Yeah.
I mean, I was pretty athletic and also the artistic one. So.
Yeah, but you would never be like, you can't square up to me, boy. You'd be like, you've got it, bro. You'd be like super talented.
I was pretty rough on Tate up until he got bigger than me. Then I kind of backed off.
That's how. That's the law of the jungle, right there.
Yeah, but then sometimes he comes up to me and I have to show him, hey, I can still beat you up.
Yeah.
But we're good now. Now little brother Sawyer, he's doing that.
Yeah.
I might have to hit him in the gut just so he can calm down a bit.
He's taller than you. He's like 6'8".
Golly, he was soon.
Crazy.
Okay, so we got Indian food. A brother bullies him.
Yeah, brother takes full advantage of this and exploits his little brother for his own amusement. Near the end of dinner, daughter says, I think I'll keep him around for a little longer. You guys okay with that? I hate that expression so much. We are good with that for now. His mom is the boss, though, for thinking outside the box. As punishment to older brother, mom went into his clothing, drawers, and closet, took every shirt off of him, and bought him 8 very bright pink t-shirts that he'll wear until he realizes just how damaging exploiting anyone, is. His access to cash is also cut off until said lesson is learned. I don't like that. Anyway.
I don't know about the bright pink shirts. Maybe like just t-shirt and white t-shirt and jeans.
Yeah, James Dean him up.
Yeah, I don't know. Bright pink. I don't know.
Seems like
humiliation factor.
Yeah, I feel like that's just gonna lead to retribution.
Yeah,
you know.
Honestly, I probably would have took some notes from these parents. Been like, what do you guys think?
Yeah, what would you guys do as the big dogs, as the top dogs?
Yeah, you got to learn. These are like parents that like apparently are not top dogs because their kid did this and they went a little over the line.
Yeah, these are not. These are bottom dogs. Anyway, a successful night with new friends was enjoyed. Hope this was the update you hoped for, and there is another update.
Wait, how far in are we?
We're getting closer to the end here. I think we've got 2 more updates.
Wow, I thought we like were halfway through. I was like, how long is this t-shirt saga gonna go?
We're pulling up. Update 5, just to give you some info. Older brother has been much better for the last little bit and actually enjoys the pink shirts.
I knew that was going to happen.
Apparently his girlfriend likes them and he's gotten a few compliments. Right. That was my other thought was it's like.
It's going to backfire.
Yeah, you're just going to make him like the cool guy who doesn't care. Which is like the coolest thing you can be.
It's not care.
Yeah. Anyway.
It's hard to do.
My lovely daughter is more than ready to go back for her spring semester. Boyfriend has been around the house more and has been very respectful. The two of them read the comments here and she teases him. I know they're technically adults, but my wife and I insist on the door being open in any room they occupy together. Nothing is derailing her education. Nice. Her and her older brother are amazing scholars, and we are immensely proud of them. My wife is a teacher with 30 years experience, and I'm a truck driver for 25 years, but I'm also educated with a degree in clinical psychology. Anyway, I'm rambling. Take care.
He doesn't want to leave us.
And by the way, we'll never leave you on your lonesome, because you can listen to full episodes with stories like this one wherever you listen to podcasts. Just search OK Storytime on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you can listen to the whole archive. We do have a final update coming up.
Fair. Dude, dang. Wow.
I want these parents to write a book.
I kind of do. How to be parenting big dog 101.
The teacher and the truck driver, : how to be the big dogs when it comes to parenting your little dogs.
And like your gosh, I feel like with books like that, you need your like success stories. You know what I'm talking about? Like your testimonies.
Your highlights.
And you just like, here's my daughter. She makes $1 million a year, and this is how your kid can too.
Here's my daughter. She is a millionaire. Her boyfriend made a mistake, and she made him pay penance for it.
And this is how she became a millionaire.
Yes. Well, we've got an update. We've got a 6th update. My daughter's son and my daughter's boyfriend head back to school this next weekend. I miss them immensely when they're gone, but I'm so proud and excited for their futures. Boyfriend has been very respectful and shows real kindness. His parents and older brother came for dinner last weekend again. We are becoming quick friends. So things are going very well. Thank you all so very much from both my wife and I for the kind words.
Aw, cute. Parent friends.
Parent friends, parents.
So if this kid did not do this, they'd be missing out. Also, it showed that the guy liked the daughter a lot.
Yeah. And it shows that, maybe we're learning the lesson that we don't just have to listen to our older brother all the time. Even though he's a cool soccer player.
I don't know about that. I think we should listen to our older brothers.
Especially when your last name is Wilson.
Yes.
That's right. You listen to your oldest brother.
Don't forget about that.
Even though he's your shortest brother.
I will be the shortest pretty soon. Give it 10 years. I'll be short. But we're going to get to the next story, my dudes.
You're saving all your height to pass on to your child.
Yep, and they're not. They're using it all.
You're going to have a 7'5" American Wembanyama.
My mom humiliated my brother's new girlfriend, and the blame is on me.
It's your fault for being born.
My male 31 brother has a broken off long-term relationship. He decided to see a therapist to help with his depression, and that has helped him tremendously. My mother and I don't have a relationship. My brother and I are low contact with her. She's very upset about him breaking his engagement previously. Not once did she call to see how he was coping. She only called to berate him.
She only called him to say, you should be ashamed of yourself.
Lovely. That's what moms are for.
Shame.
By the way, this comes from a remarkable bison, 69. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK stories on subreddit. I'm Riley.
I'm Dakota.
And we're here to give good advice scoofily. We don't have all the answers, but if you do, please put them down below. And OP says, my brother met someone, Anna, at a party we went to. They hit it off and went on a few dates. He asked me to keep this to myself and that he was doing things at his own pace. The pacer.
The Indiana.
Yesterday, I get a call from my mother asking me if I knew that my brother was seeing someone. She said she saw him with Anna at a restaurant and confronted him. So that's what you do.
What about that other girl you were seeing? What happened to her?
Oh, the one I broke up with. Yeah, okay.
Mom, you're not really being a great wingman right now. Mom,
stop it. Stop being a block.
My brother freaked out and left Anna at the restaurant.
Well, you don't do that either. You just something you don't do.
I tell her that his love life is none of her business, and she responded by saying that I manipulated her only son into breaking off his engagement. I just hung up and called Anna to see if she needed help. She asked me to come pick her up. Oh, so this just happened.
This is actively happening right now?
Yeah, as the story is being told. So mom confronts, calls OP, and he's like, I'll come pick you up, Anna. That's crazy. When I get to the restaurant, I see her outside getting screamed at by my mother. She was with a family friend, calling her a homewrecker, witch, gold digger. And I got in my car. My mother came to my car and banged on the windows. People were staring now, and my mom literally put herself in front of my car to block our way. I got out of the car, grabbed her by the arm, and pushed her away. She couldn't get a word in because I was yelling about how she's a pathetic excuse of a mother and that all her children effing hate her. And she's the only reason that my brother didn't want to tell her he's seeing someone. Oh my, what is this?
She sounds like she needs to go to elite parent school. She is very, very small dog, tiny little dog parent. She needs to be a big dog.
Yeah, this is what the bottom 1% looks like.
Yeah, we need to up her. We need to up our percents.
That's what the bell curve, yeah. At the end. My mother was speechless for a second, and we just left. Poor Anna. Anna was shaking, so I decided to bring her over to our house. This is all the set. So this is all the way to get to Anna. You wanted Anna the whole time. My brother locked himself into his room and didn't want to talk to anyone. We just sat Anna down, and when she got her bearings, she decided to head home. My partner dropped her off at her house. The next day, I get a voicemail from my mother telling me that I humiliated her in front of her friend by telling lies and slandering her reputation, and that I assaulted her.
Well, actually, mods, that's battery. I pushed you.
Get it right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did the thing. It wasn't the threat of doing it.
I'm getting calls from family saying that I should have never spoken to my mother like that and that it affected my poor mother's mental health.
Sounds like there was already a lot affecting that before we showed up.
All right. Some of our extended family didn't know why my brother ended his engagement, but they're all taking my mother's side now. Probably should have videotaped it. That's sad to even say.
Yeah, should have had the body camera on, dude.
Lock in. That would have saved you. I only feel bad because my brother is also getting bombarded by calls and texts saying he let his ex down, that he was hurting his mother so much that he should be ashamed. I feel like we're back at square one now because I chose to confront my mother. I tried to get him to make an appointment with his therapist this week, but he's been ghosting me. I feel like this turn of events could have been avoided if I didn't confront my mother and just left with Anna, and that it made Anna an even bigger target for my mother because she was with me when I exploded. Am I the a-hole here? I think anything you would have done, she would have made fun of you for, so no.
Yeah, clearly the one who's the a-hole here is your mom. You know? We can't be held responsible for the way our mom is.
She's an adult. She literally birthed you. So, yeah.
If I had to put you both on the scale and weigh you, she would be the much larger, stinkier person.
Dude, I thought about doing that with a game show.
What, like weighing each other?
No, like getting a weight, like 2 weights, cut a banana in half.
What?
Mhm.
What do you mean?
So you get a banana, you cut it where you think's in the middle, and you try to like evenly cut it, and then you like measure the grams.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's interesting. Yeah.
I got some mini games we could do like that.
Oh, I like that.
Edit. Thank you all to those that answered. I have to take care of exam week for my students, so I don't have time to edit before now. So much organizing to do. I wholeheartedly agree that my brother was also an a-hole, but I know that he acted recklessly because he couldn't deal with the situation emotionally. He finally decided to see his therapist again. I read over every comment and will try to answer the most I can. My mother did not press charges for me grabbing her arm, but I agree with the comment saying I shouldn't have done that. Thank you all for the update. I mean, you had to get her out of the way of your car. I don't know.
Yeah, some people need a gentle push in the right direction.
Mm-hmm. Or out of the direction of your car.
Yeah, I just wanted to show you you should be over here.
Yeah. Stay here. Update. I've decided to go full no contact with my mother, and all my siblings have decided to do the same after they heard about what had happened. Obviously, my mother is not pleased with this and is telling everyone I demonized her.
I think it was your demons that demonized you, girl.
Yeah.
It was the demons you got inside you.
If I tried shucking holy water at her, we'll never know. I'm moving out of the country for a job opportunity with my current partner. Frankly, I feel like putting as much distance between me and my mother is going to be the best outcome for everyone. Holy cow, he's heading out of town.
He's heading out of the country. He's heading to a new hemisphere.
Where the toilet swirls the other
Gotta
way.
be a really bad for it to be explicitly. I need to maximize the distance between me and my mother. That is what is best for everyone involved. It's gonna be pretty bad for that to be the case.
That's wild. We're moving in about 2 months to Switzerland. Oh, wow. By the way, you could be in Switzerland, New Netherlands, Sweden, or anywhere. All you gotta do is listen to us on your favorite podcast platform, iHeartRadio, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts. Search our OK Storytime.
You could even be in Copenhagen.
Yeah. People in Uganda love us.
That is true, and not quite where Copenhagen is.
I know.
I know. But people in Uganda do love us.
Yeah.
Just wanted to make sure no one got confused, and some of us can get confused about where Copenhagen is. We know it's not in Germany, and we know it's not in Uganda.
It's not in Chad.
Not sure where it is. Could be
definitely
Denmark,
not in Lithuania.
Lithuania, Switzerland,
Ghana.
Amsterdam.
Somewhere. It's somewhere near there.
Yeah.
Anna and my brother have spoken about what he did. He's apologized and told her that he thought at the time that he was ready to move on and be his normal self again. But he realized that he needs way more help. He apologized profusely for what he did to her, and he would understand if she didn't want to speak to him again. He's regularly been seeing his therapist and has cut contact with her mother. Anna was hesitant at first, but decided to forgive him. Oh. And they've decided that being friends would be better off for them. We're all meeting, siblings and friends, for a New Year's Eve party tonight, and we'll have fun. Nor not, since we're extremely competitive when it comes to board games and things get heated in a good way. So I feel like it's a happy ending for everyone except my mother. I feel a bit bad saying this, but that makes me happy.
Dude, now I feel bad for you saying that, man. What the heck, dude?
That's. I mean, sounds like she has tormented you and your brother for a while now.
That is also true.
Imagine like making a scene in a restaurant.
I'm trying to think of if I've ever done such a thing in my life.
No, not in a public space.
I mean,
I know a family relative that could have, but they are now passed away.
Yeah, I think the closest thing I've come to making a scene in a restaurant would probably be arguing with my own mom. Oh God, yeah. Yeah, that is what happened. Yep.
Dang.
Can't even remember what it was about.
That's tough. But guys, we got another story. Dakota's gonna pull that up for us.
I told my sister to grow up over her grudge and almost lost her.
Now she's holding it against you?
Let's find out if we're going to read this. I am 28 male and my sister is 25 female. We did not get along as kids. She was the typical annoying little sister and I was the mean older brother. I teased her a lot growing up, but I did my best to make sure that if I did tease her, or if we did have a fight, I said sorry or made her feel like I didn't mean any of it.
Cute.
I never wanted her to go to bed thinking we were not on good terms. By the way, this comes from user BrubberGrudge. If you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Dakota.
I'm Riley.
We're going to yap about this story. We're going to give our take on it, but you know what? We haven't been in this situation. So if you got any insights, let us know in the comments. Let us know what they are. OP says, she moved out when I was 22. Okay, Taylor Swift. And she was 19. I went to her farewell party and I really thought we were good. I never apologized for what I did, but I was proud of her for going to college. We stayed in contact about once a month, just saying how our lives were going. We weren't close, but we weren't pushing it. And I enjoyed seeing her tell me what was going on in her life.
Okay.
She came back for Thanksgiving when I was 23 and she was 20, and it went well. I saw her in person one more time at Christmas when I was 25 and she was 22. I didn't go to any family holidays on my side for like 3 years since I got really serious with my SO. We got engaged 2 months ago and I went to her family's place for those holidays since we lived closer. Yesterday was my dad's birthday and I haven't seen him in person for a few years. So I spent quite a bit of money to have me and my significant other fly down to their house and stay the week. My sister was there too, and I was happy to see her in person again and have her meet my partner. The whole party was fine, and I know my parents were happy that both their kids were together in their house again. At night, when my parents went to bed, I was having a drinky poo with my sister while my partner was going to the store for breakfast items.
All right.
The subject of our past years somehow came up, and I told her I felt bad and was sorry for any troubles I gave her during that time.
Oh.
I could tell she was kind of miffed, and I don't know if it was the booze talking, but she basically said that once our parents pass away, she doesn't want much to do with me because of how much of a butt I was when we were kids.
Oh. Interesting. Dang, this is what happens when you don't talk as siblings. Resentment. It's a big shock.
I mean, yeah, can't really fault either party here. I mean, we can fault OP for having been the mean boy. But it's like, I don't know. I guess we need more info.
More info.
Her perspective.
What exactly she's holding against you.
Yeah, what did you do?
Yeah.
What exactly did you do? Anyway. I was shocked when she said that because I thought we both had moved on from that and had a loving and caring yet distant relationship. I didn't even know what to say, and I was, and still am, heartbroken because I do love her and always wanted us to at least be caring towards each other. Her basically saying she has no desire to do much with me really hurt. I finally got it out and said what we did as kids was years ago. And if you're still on about that, then you just need to grow up. Ooh, that's a bad way to apologize. I'm sorry for how I treated you,
Oh, there it is.
but it shouldn't be the basis of why you hate me now. You kind of really were off the mark with that being an apology.
I mean, I get your sentiment, but if she's holding something against you, you should probably flesh it out.
Yeah, you can't be like, oh, you're stupid for feeling this way, and you need to not feel that way because it's the dumb way to feel. And I'm right.
Yikes.
Yeah. She didn't say anything after that, but are you done? And then she went to bed. The next day, she talked to me like nothing happened. And I was weirded out by that, but didn't want to make a scene in front of our parents who still have the view of us being close. So Reddit, I ask you, am I the a-hole for telling my sister to grow up after she's held on to grudges that have been like 10 plus years old? And there is an update, and I would say, yeah.
Yeah. Some helpful context is to know what grudges she has against you. Some of these grudges may need more than a just grow up.
Yeah, and it's like, look, were you the a-hole for the stuff you did, like, as a kid, essentially? Like, it's like, you know, it's so common for siblings to go through that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even necessarily say you're an a-hole for that, but for the one specific context you asked about, which was essentially the way you phrased your apology to your sister, yeah, you were wrong for that.
If Tate came up to me, said, I don't want to play basketball with you anymore because of all the times you beat me as a kid, then I would be like, grow up, man. That was 10 years ago. You're better than you were then.
Yeah.
We can still play.
But if he was like, I don't want you to be around my family because of the way you made me feel and the way you treated me as a child.
Let's talk it out.
You would go, oh my God, I had no idea you felt that way still. I look back on that with regret.
Regret. And you know what OP didn't do? Did not take accountability at all.
0%.
He said, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, but you shouldn't feel this way.
No. She's putting herself out there. You should probably actually talk with her. What the heck?
If you really do feel sorry, you need to say it. Because, I mean, you say that you do. Your response felt like you don't.
Dude, we weren't taught how to really actually say sorry.
Yeah.
It was just like, you say sorry, you say it's okay, and you live on with life. It's more complicated than that.
Update. So this has a really happy ending.
Oh, I needed that.
Spoiler alert! Okay. I hope that's not sarcastic. A day or two later, after she blew up on me and I told her to grow up, me and her had another sit down and I just listened. Turns out she hated how I was never there for her, and I will admit I wasn't. I just left the state as soon as I could and didn't even try to come back other than for holidays. She also said she wished I called her more. She would text me on social media and would call me, but it wasn't that 1 week thing, so I just didn't answer and I felt horrible. Most of y'all said I was the a-hole and that I should just hear what she has to say and apologize. I could tell she was tearing up, so I did something I hadn't done since we were children. I just flat out hugged her and let her cry on me. Bro, you hadn't hugged your sister since you were children?
Yikes.
Oh. Yeah. Talk about close but distant in your head.
Yeah.
Great googly moogly. At the end of it, I apologized and promised to do a better job. But I asked her to please give me another chance to be a good brother. She agreed to that. For the past month, I've texted her every other day and called weekly. It's effort, and it's actually working. I won't say we are as close as we were as kids, but it's good, and I enjoy talking to her now. It's cool to know stuff about her so we can coordinate things for our parents without having them stress about anything. I'm currently in town for Thanksgiving, and she and her partner have been very generous in allowing me and my partner to stay at her place for the week. Thank you for all the comments and for calling me the a-hole for being so petty to my sister. It pretty much saved the relationship. And by the way, you need to save some time in your day to go over and listen to full episodes with stories like this one on your favorite podcast platform. I'm talking iHeartRadio or Spotify or Apple Podcasts or wherever you're listening, and just search OK Storytime.
Yep, we are the most productive podcast out there.
We are pumping it out.
Yep.
We're going, well, I was going to say Haktua, but like,
I don't know.
yeah, we don't want to pump that out.
We don't. But guys, we listen to us and you'll get stuff done.
Yes, and you know what? We're getting some stuff done right here, man.
This is sweet. I'm glad that he's being humble. You need to be humble in these scenarios.
Sometimes the solution is to listen to women. Who would have thought?
Just to listen in general.
Who would have thought that listening to women could solve problems?
Guess you wouldn't have.
The sarcasm is that you should very obviously listen to women. They're very smart,
Mm-hmm.
and we should listen to them.
I like women.
You're a woman doctor,
That's right.
categorically.
Yes.
Yeah.
Categorically.
There's an edit here. The reason they have never heard from me for 5 years is because I had a substance use disorder and they booted me out. I was hurt and scared and hated my parents because of it, and I grouped my sister in with them. About 5 years later, I realized how much of a spoiled little nuisance I was and reconnected with them. My parents were happy, but my sister wasn't. But I was able to talk her into giving me another chance, and now we're pretty good.
Oh, wow. That is very helpful context.
Yeah, we do. We got some context there, and that is some good context that informs us a lot.
Yeah, I love that we get to the end of these stories sometimes and they just drop a bomb. We're like, oh, yeah, that would have been useful.
Yeah, that would have been useful context to have the entire time. Thanks. Well, we do have some comments to finish it off. Comment number 1, not gonna lie, my eyes bugged out of my head when I first read the post, and you said that you hadn't seen your sister in years and that you never go to family holidays because you got close with your SO. Just for the record, people usually don't ditch their entire family for years unless they hate them. I can see why your sister was extremely offended. Comment 2 says, my brother did this and we didn't see him for 7 years, and he wasn't but 30 minutes away. Turns out he was miserable. When my husband saw him in a store one day and told him everyone missed him and would welcome him back with open arms, he left her and came back. If your SO is keeping you from family and your family isn't bad people, you should worry.
Yeah.
OP says, my SO actually asked me on numerous occasions to go visit my family. I was just in a dumb, angry state of mind. And that is the end of that story. And ain't that the truth?
Mm-hmm.
That a dumb, angry state of mind will keep you from a lot of stuff.
That's good. That's good.
Namely, of your family it can keep you from, your friends, your career, your loved ones.
You really have to have a significant other that supports you.
Yeah, have a significant other who points out when you're in an angry, dumb state of mind.
You have to, yeah.
If you're dumb and angry, you don't want to be dangry.
Angry, because you'll look dangry. And dangry's a stupid word, because it's not real.
Hi. Well, we got another story coming up right now.
My late wife's family wanted her ring, but I won't give it back.
It's literally on my finger.
I, female 30, married my wife, female 36, a year ago. Lesbian couple alert. Lesbian couple alert.
Ah!
These are 2 women.
Not the U-Haul. No.
We had been together 6 years, married for 1 before she passed. It has been a really rocky time for me, and I'm still struggling, but getting there day by day.
Well, good news is you're a strong lesbian.
That's right. And you're beautiful. By the way, this comes from Sports Representative 6. And if you want to spin your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Riley.
I'm Dakota.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, and you're here to comment. OP says, my wife had been close with her grandmother when she was growing up, and when she passed away, her grandmother left a beautiful ring which had been in the family for generations. My wife used this ring to propose to me, and it became my wedding ring. I have worn it every day since she gave it to me, and it is truly the most precious item from her. Feels like she is with me always, and when I look at it, it brings my heart some happiness to remember our time together. OP, stop!
Stop making me sad, please.
Cutting the onions here.
I'm already going to say this is a very nuanced issue, clearly, because, yes, that was your wife, but that was also their daughter and sister and cousin and all that. And the ring being in the family for multiple generations.
This is a tricky one.
It does feel like maybe it should return.
Oh.
When someone could make use of it,
Interesting. I disagree.
Okay.
I disagree. Co's on the other side of the fence here. My wife even spent money on the ring to get it restored, as it had a few cosmetic faults. But by doing this, more or less, doubled the value of the ring too. It's very unique and shaped like a snake with a diamond in its head and rubies for the eyes. The diamond was cracked, and the blue enamel needed repairing, which she did before proposing. My brother-in-law has now decided to propose to his girlfriend, and he wants to make use of the snake ring as her grandmother wanted the ring to be used as an engagement ring for when one of her grandchildren wanted to get married. A first come, first served situation. Although it was never really expected her granddaughter would be doing the proposing because it was always assumed the boys would offer it to their girlfriends. But my wife got there and did it first, and that was that.
So a couple thoughts.
You want to go back on what you said or no?
Well, first of all, that ring sounds sick.
Yeah, that's a dope ring.
I want that ring. Also, really doesn't feel like a ring you propose to someone with.
That's a family thing.
Like a snake effigy
I don't know.
with like a diamond in its head and red eyes. Like
I wouldn't do that with my family.
it doesn't feel like, it just doesn't.
It doesn't say love. It doesn't say romance.
No, it just feels, I don't know. It feels like just like a cool thing.
Is your family just like all gothic? That would check out more. If you say everyone in your family's somehow goth, that makes sense.
I'm keeping that ring, man.
You're keeping it?
I'm keeping that ring. That
Yeah.
ring's too cool, man.
She went through and she restored it. It doubled the price. And that's a gift from grandmother to her to you, OP. No one has any right to want it back.
Maybe you can get somebody to make one that looks like that. And
Yeah,
then give
yeah.
it to them.
It was never really questioned either as my wife, and she had been so close too. Nobody had any objections at the time as the ring was still within the family, and neither of my brother-in-laws were anywhere near getting engaged. I refuse to give the ring back now, and I have caused a huge rift with my family-in-law. My mother-in-law and brother-in-laws are calling me an a-hole as they want the ring to continue being a part of their family and to be passed down in the generations as it was expected to. I'm distraught. My wife and I were not big sentimental gift givers, and this honestly is the only thing she was truly proud to gift me. It was a huge deal for us and meant the world to both of us. And they want to pass it down to generations. If that was like the reasoning, the grandmother should have given it to a guy instead of, the...
I think something can be arranged.
Really?
I think you can make an arrangement that it's like maybe
After I pass, I give it to one of your kids?
Yeah, if you don't have any kids, maybe the ring goes back into their family or something.
I could see that.
Like, not for this round, but it's like whenever the guys get married and then they have their families and they have kids, maybe you can give the ring back then so they
Sure.
can give it to one of their kids.
Yeah.
But it's like, just because I would be really insulted because it's almost like the vibe would be like, oh, so because she passed away, she just like didn't ever exist. And we can just pretend like she didn't get engaged to me and marry me and give me this ring. And we can just pretend like we can just give it back. And that
Yikes.
never happened. I would probably be pretty insulted.
Yeah, no, that is insulting. My family-in-law have also thrown in my face that the grandmother wanted me to have it since she was Russian and would have been much against the same spicy sleep couple. This really hurt me. It feels like a low blow, although it's definitely true. I accepted my family-in-law. The grandmother had been long gone before I met my wife. They are now saying that it should go to the boys as intended. It's all really nasty.
Okay, so why do we care what the bigot thought? Do you know what I mean? Where it's like, well, like imagine the context is the same, but it's like, well, grandma was racist. So I don't know, because you're not the same color as us, you need to give the ring back because grandma wouldn't have liked that. It's like, where do we stop with that, right? The whims of where do we quit?
Yeah, dude.
Also, you could pull out, well, guess what? My wife is also no longer with us. I think she would want me to keep the ring. Huh. She's a generation closer.
And she proposed to me. So,
yeah.
There you go. It's all gotten really nasty, and I just don't know what to do. The family have offered to buy the ring off me for the full value of the ring with the repairs, but I refuse. It's the only thing I have of my wife, and parting with it feels like the only piece I have left of my broken heart being taken away. Am I the a-hole? Simple no.
Nah.
That was gifted to you.
But it is complicated, and it does make sense why they're upset with you.
Yeah.
Because it's
dope
just
ring.
an untenable situation.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you could make that contract where it's like down the line, yeah, the boys aren't going to get it this generation, but I will leave it to y'all's children and it can come back to the family. But like you said, that is the last thing connecting you to your deceased partner.
Yeah. So just don't keep it, man. Edit. No, my wife and I do not have children Grandma definitely wouldn't have accepted the relationship. She was very old-fashioned, shall we say. There were a lot of comments about leaving the ring in my will, which I think is a great idea, which you've been talking about. I hadn't been able to think clearly since it all happened because I felt stricken with grief again after the shock of being asked. I am going to speak with mother-in-law and brother-in-law ASAP to see if I can offer the ring to the brother-in-law's future children in my will. I don't want to part the family from the ring, but I don't want to part with it in my lifetime. So I'm hoping this will be resolved. I will post an update as soon as I've spoken to everyone. For those who have been mentioned about giving it up if I remarry, I couldn't possibly answer this question at this point in time. My grief is blinding. To think about loving anyone else in this world feels absolutely impossible. We have an update a month later. She's taking your advice.
And she's getting married. It's been a month.
She has gone through the grief. She's moved in. They're getting married tomorrow.
This update is going to be about where the cheapest place to rent the U-Haul is. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just simply making a clever observation about the nature of same-sex female relationships.
Wait, Uber has a deal that I can get a delivery truck to my place and to the other person's place. U-Haul should do that. Like
honestly, yeah, U-Haul should just be an app and it shows up.
Mm-hmm.
U-Haul should just be the next Waymo.
Honestly, for moving?
Yeah, honestly, robo-movers, that will be a bajillion-dollar industry.
We should get into that.
Robot movers.
There we go. That's our business plan. Update a month later. Since my last post, my sister-in-law and I have talked regarding the ring. She has been my mediator, and we were always good friends. She agreed from the beginning that I should keep the ring. We met up to discuss things, and face to face, without the pressure of the rest of the family breathing down my neck, we were able to discuss the ring and its future. I told her about my Reddit post and the advice I had been given, and that I would be very happy to leave the ring in my will for the first niece or nephew born to the family. Okay,
that's a perfectly acceptable plan, I think.
So that it'll go back into the family eventually. I told my sister-in-law between her and I that if I remarry at some point, I feel that I'm able to part with it then, and maybe sooner, but I definitely didn't want that in writing. I said that I'm happy to draw up said contracts and will and relevant copies for this agreement before my departure. Sister-in-law totally agreed with the proposal, and once the business conversation was out of the way, she told me that this was the spark that lit this horrendous fire. Father-in-law never got on with my late wife, and especially not with me. The ring is from his side of the family. He was always very greedy nature, and although he despised his mother, he despised the fact that something of value that deemed his inheritance has been taken away from him. That, and he is an openly closet guard too. He hated my late wife for it, and apparently when he found out what his mother's wishes for the ring was, he lost his mind. Even though he is an only child and inherited a small fortune from her, after my wife passed, he saw it as an opportunity to get the ring back, and asked the family to go get it, no matter what it takes. Sister-in-law and brother-in-law don't even want it for his fiance, but they are all scared of father-in-law. Sister-in-law said that she is so glad that I am moving home to be with my family. We shared a lot of tears, and it was so good to talk about my wife with her. Luckily, and hopefully for all of us, sister-in-law shouldn't be too long before she has her first child with her husband, as they just started trying. Just started hitting the raw. And guys, if you want to hit us raw, go to your favorite podcast platform, search up OK Storytime. You don't even have to put it on. Just on iHeartRadio, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts.
Yeah, just to have it be in the back.
Raw dog us. By listening to us.
Yeah, is that like the equivalent of like listening to the podcast like on speakerphone in public?
Oh God, yeah. Honestly.
That's like raw dogging the show.
That is. Ah.
I did that yesterday. It wasn't with a podcast. It was with the speech from the first season of Andor, where
I don't know what happens in that.
oh, do you know who the Scar?
So you can just listen to a speech?
Stellan Skarsgård.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know who that is? I found out that when he recorded that, he had a stroke and he was having memory problems, so he was being fed all of his lines with an earpiece. And I had to watch it again immediately after reading that in public, just because I was like, that's insane, because that's one of the best little monologues I've ever seen. And he crushed it while being just like fed the lines. He didn't even.
Damn.
It's crazy. But that has nothing to do with this story.
Yes.
Except, well, it had to do with raw dogging in public.
Yeah.
Which is what we want our lovely babies to do.
Do to us. sister-in-law and I talked again over the phone after the relevant information was relayed to the family. Apparently, father-in-law is still raging, but she said she could see in her brother-in-law and mother-in-law relief on their faces. Apparently, father-in-law really lost his mind when she told him, I'm moving back home, believing the ring will forever be lost, even though the paperwork and etc. is all getting in order nicely. I wanted to finish this by thanking everyone for your kind words, especially relating to losing my wife. She would have been so touched to have seen so many supportive, kind people out there. It's been a hard time for me, but knowing there are good people out there in the world gives me much hope. Wow, that one ended kind of wholesomely.
Yeah, I agree.
Wow.
With a wholesome, hope for humanity.
Yeah. But guys, that's the end of that episode.
Well,
yeah.
Oh, we'd have comments?
We got comments.
We got comments. We got comments to read.
Oh, this comes from the video. My girlfriend destroyed my daughter's scrapbook of her mom. Posted January 31st of 2026. This story is Am I the a-hole for not throwing away any pictures of my ex-wife? This is the first story. TLDR, OP just got full custody of his 5-year-old daughter after his ex moved away. His girlfriend was already upset about having to share time with the ex, but things got worse fast. She got angry over driving to the airport on her birthday, then later ripped apart a scrapbook the child's mom made. Yeah, it was a ridiculous story. If you're curious about the full story, please watch the video down below. And Lauren McGurty, dude, she has been commenting a lot. This is my second time reading something from her. S1, this kind of person absolutely infuriates me. Opie's girlfriend has made it abundantly clear that she has main character syndrome, and it's not enough if it's not 100% about her, and she resents the fact that her partner has a child and that this child will always take priority over her, which would still be the case for any child she had with someone else. So the child is the enemy, and the mother is also the enemy. So yes, the OP is the a-hole, but not for dumping the girlfriend and moving on with their life when the red flags first started showing. So it should have happened sooner. Yeah. Insane story. Like, she broke everything apart and then he had to repair it. Riley Yukui says, first story, I am a woman who never wants kids. I would never be with a man who has or wants kids. That said, if I made the choice to date someone with a child / my partner gains custody of a nepheling, I would not be upset at my partner for being a good parent. As much as I want all the love and attention, it's a parent's first duty to take care of their child. Not me. This hissy fit for the sake of a 2-hour drive, and after looking after the kid she knows OP has, it sounds like she wants him to be a neglectful father. If you can't deal with someone having children, don't date him. And Kaylee Hopper, 5530, says, meanwhile, me, a stepmom, stopped my husband from throwing away pictures of him and his ex, or my stepson when he gets older. So Kaylee Hopper was on the other side of that.
There you go, Yeah, I don't think you should do that. I think that as adults, we should be comfortable with the fact that, hey, maybe this person has been with and loved and had children with others.
Yeah, honestly.
We don't have to pretend like that never happened now.
Shoot, guys, that is the end of that episode. And the end of the episode.
Wow. So if you love us, make sure you subscribe.
We love you. And see you tomorrow. Yo, don't leave yet. Please don't exit out of this video. We have more stories for you, and I know you got more stuff to do, so hang around.
My cousin's birthday party was a nightmare, and somehow I got blamed for it. Happy New Year, everyone. I remember this story about a sleepover with my cousin that I'm in no contact with. So to start off 2025, I want to tell you about this long drawn out story that I now laugh about. To get started, it was 2021. It was the pandemic in my area, but it had technically ended. Me and my little cousin, who we will call EC, short for entitled cousin, were best friends. Throughout the pandemic, I talked to her almost every day. She was pretty sad that in 2020, she couldn't have a birthday party. I felt her pain because in 2020, I turned 13 and I didn't get to have the huge birthday party my family had planned. And by the way, this comes from user Sleepy Sheeps, and you can submit your stories on the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So, Ich's mom had the bright idea to have a party for her daughter in 2021. We'll call her mom M. Okay, I'm going to name her Emily. So, Emily had raised Ich as an only child because Ich is technically an only child biologically. Her mom did an adoption to Ich's older sister, that Emily fostered when they were 12. Those sisters are in their late 20s to mid 30s at the time. So as you can tell, she was raised mostly as an only child, but legally she's the youngest child. So it's like just a case where the older sisters were way older. The fostered, adoptive, older sisters, she was for all intents and purposes an only child. So day one of the nightmare, I showed up a bit late to the party because me and my mom had a fight about a swimsuit. It's not important to the story, but it will give context. The swimsuit needed to be washed, according to my mom, when it really didn't need to be, as it was clean. Because of the car we drove at the time, it needed to charge because Emily and ich lived very far, and the battery to the car was almost dead. The charging process took 45 minutes, and my cousin's house was 25 minutes away from the charging station. So I finally leave the charging station and head to my cousin's house. I got there, and it was 8 p.m. Everyone had been there since 5 p.m., but everyone else lived very close by. So I entered the house being walked in by a sister. She has 3 older sisters. One is in the military, the other is in college, and the oldest is pregnant again at the time. They really don't have any purpose in the story, so I'll briefly mention them here and there. Was mad about how late I was, which was understandable, but after explaining, she softened up for a bit. My mom left, so my cousin got the goodie bags for all of us. There was 4 other girls there, and I'm the oldest. My cousin was turning 12, and her friends were all 12 or 13. Red flag number 1 should have been the fact that none of Ich's friends were there. None of them showed up. The girls were all of Emily's friends' daughters, who have met Ich at least 4 times. All the girls were pleasant with her, but they all wanted to talk to me. I'm not sure what happened earlier, but everyone was standoffish with Ich. She leads us to the bathroom and tells us we're all doing a face mask. All the girls were happy until Ich started yapping. She grabbed her face wash and turned to one of the girls, telling her she needs to use the wash because her face looks not the greatest. I told her that's not very nice. Mind you, her mom heard this and said nothing. Mom's like, she does need that face wash.
I think I have an idea what's going to go on here. One, it's his birthday, and they want attention. They want to be the focal point, and hey, this is my birthday, my party, let's focus on me. And OP just got there. OP's the oldest. Usually, when you're 11 or 12, and if you see someone 1 year older than you, they're the coolest person in the whole house.
Okay. The girl said no because she's never used the face wash and because she breaks out too easily. The girl walked off to get her own face wash. Then targeted me, saying, quote, "You also need to use this face wash because you're slowly starting to look like a witch with all those pimples." Emily stepped in and told her, "Apologize." She was like, that one's not going to fly. I was having a medical issue with my period that made me get bad acne. I was on my period for 2 months at the time and would have a lot of acne because of it. She then called her friends ugly in different ways by placing their face mask on. It was annoying, but we it up. The rest of the night was uneventful other than making a mug cake that she forced me to eat, which was annoying. We went to sleep watching the live action Lion King. Day 2 of the nightmare, we had to get ready for the water park. We were pretty happy because it was going to be 100 degrees outside, so pretty hot. We had breakfast, which for the life of me, I can't remember what it was. I do remember there being orange juice on the table and demanding for us to give it to her now. In her own words, she said, "Give me the orange juice right now. I am the birthday girl and can do whatever I want." I'm the birthday girl. I get whatever I want today.
I called it. She's the birthday girl.
And she's 13.
Honestly, it doesn't even have to be a teenager. If it's your birthday, it's your party, your celebration. You want to be the focal point.
Sure. Maybe just don't be like a
monster about it.
Yeah, like act like you're like an entitled, narcissistic monarch about it. Her mom told her to stop being rude. We gave her the orange juice just to get her to calm down. We all got dressed, and honestly, we all looked cute for going to a water park. It took a while in the bathroom to get ready, and when she finally left the bathroom, she said all our outfits and how she was so ready to change into her swimsuit at the water park. We thought she placed her clothes over her swimsuit, so we're all pretty annoyed now. So we finally got to the water park, and for some reason, all our cousins didn't show up. This is both our cousins through her mom and her cousins on her dad's side. It was weird, but that should have been red flag number 2. We waited outside the water park for it to open, which I'm glad for because within 20 minutes, there were lines going down the street. Yeah, you're going to get that on the 100 degrees. Man, we got bored waiting and started to play outside the gates of the park. We started pretending to be Karens. Of course, wanted to be Karen and told us we can't be Karen. So we picked out other Karen type names like Carol, Betty, etc. Now the kids are playing Karen roleplay.
They grow up so fast.
Ugh, didn't like the way that we played Karens and stomped off to spend time with her niece. We just kept playing because me and another girl had our phones but didn't want to drain the battery. Dang. Eventually the gates opened and decided we're all good now. We're playing in the pool while her mom just chilled in the seats with her granddaughter. Started insulting her mom for being cheap and not bringing enough money for food and making sandwiches for us.
That's rude. I would put my foot down. I'm like, all right, the day's over. I mean, we're here, but like, you are not getting anything else.
How are you dunking on your own mom for making y'all sandwiches?
Yo, mom sandwiches are the best sandwiches.
Like what? You're dunking on your own mom, being like, my mom's poor. She made us sandwiches. You know what? At the end of the day, freaking 13-year-old brain. All right. I remember wanting to be cool. And sometimes you say wild stuff that makes no sense like that because somehow in your hormone-addled brain, you're like, this will be cool.
This is also when you get the most brattiest. Like, this is when it starts.
Remember, we are at a water park. Food is very expensive. A slice of pizza was $5, and it's not even that big. Then drags us to the only water slide in the park. There's mini water slides, but those are for toddlers and very small children. We get in line, and all she did was complain until we got to the top of the slide. One of the girls that was at the party was in front of and when she realized she wasn't going to be the first, pushed her, which was dangerous because the steps were small and a little wet. Then said, it's my birthday, I can do what I want, and I want to go first. We told her, don't push us on the stairs, we might get hurt. She rolled her eyes and then got on the slide. We were so annoyed, but accepted it. After getting into the other pool, we decided to have a race. This pool was pretty small, and we really shouldn't have raced. As soon as the race started, I was winning because I had long legs and arms and I was working out. Got behind me and didn't want me to win, which I did. She grabbed my leg, which slowed me down, and scratched me as soon as I touched the wall. She bit my leg. Honestly, stop hanging out with this person. You don't have to be friends with this person.
I like how they became, 12 or 13, but they're acting like a 4-year-old.
If someone bites you and their mom is there, go tell their mom that they bit you. Something needs to be done about that. As soon as we got to the checkpoint, I screamed, "You bit me! You bit me! What the heck?" Just claimed she didn't while laughing. But to not look crazy, I showed the bite mark and scratch marks from her. Everyone looked at her because why would someone do that?
I can imagine everyone looks at OP's leg and they all slowly turn and give the stink eye. Like, what? Where's Mama M in this?
So in response, said, "Well, sorry, but you should have let me win because it's my birthday." Go ahead and just walk into a bank and be like, "Give me all the money. It's my birthday." Go to your favorite little store and you say, "Give me everything I want. It's my birthday. I need it for free." I was weirded out by both this and something else she did earlier. And instead of telling her mom, we just moved on. Made us do more laps, but I was tired and my leg hurt from the bite mark that faded.
I guarantee you, when wins, she's going to brag about it.
Oh, yeah. And she's going to be like, "I'm the best. It's my birthday. I'm the greatest." So I sat to the side until she dragged us to the biggest pool in the park. For context, the big pool normally has a giant blow-up parkour set. What? That sounds awesome. But after the pandemic, they got rid of it. So we just played in the pool. I'm not a strong swimmer and I have asthma, so I wasn't swimming too much because the deep end has a giant drop from 4 to 6 feet to 12 feet. So I wanted to save my energy, try out the diving board, and also just in case I end up in the deep, deep part of the deep end. Got mad at me for not going to the deeper part of the pool and had pushed me into the deep end. I got stuck and panicked. All the girls started panicking because I told them I can't really swim. Got mad at me for not just swimming, and thankfully a random girl who joined us, who was 14 or 15, grabbed my arm and pulled me into the 4-foot part of the pool. Everyone began to scold because of what she did was very unsafe. I'm not sure why we didn't tell her mom, but we just stayed with and it's because you're literally children. You're just kids. Is very, unpleasant right now, but they can definitely grow out of it. I jumped off the diving board for the first time in my life and had fun. I was stuck for a while, but I managed to somehow swim to the much shallower part of the pool. It was embarrassing that I jumped off the smallest diving board and everyone jumped from the bigger diving board, but it was safer for me. Demanded we test who could hold their breath for the longest, which don't do that. I was a swim instructor. That is the easiest way to drown because when you hold your breath underwater as a contest, when you pass out, you don't have any control over it. You should never hold your breath underwater. It's actually a common misconception. Because of the panicking from earlier and the intense swimming I've done from the diving board, I couldn't hold my breath that long. I was underwater for about 20 seconds, and as soon as I lost my breath, I moved to the steps far away from everyone to see who'd lift their heads up next. I also didn't drop to the ground like most of the other girls from the party because knew I would lose my breath quickly. So imagine my shock when who won the challenge, claimed I bit her when she was underwater. It was so stupid and nobody believed her. And she said, "Look, she even scratched my legs too," as she showed the faint line of nail scratches. The girl who saved me earlier said that's not possible because OP was standing and holding her nose underwater and not even close enough to scratch you. OP moved to the stairs long ago. Due to the confrontation, began to cry, claiming I bit her. I told one of the girls from the party to get her mom because he started crying. Her mom came stomping over and said, "What did you do to her?" All the girls from the party, including me, started talking at the same time, saying basically the same thing. Even the girl who helped me vouched for me. Emily took crying with her back to the seated area where cried about how this was the worst birthday ever and how she wants everyone to go home. Emily was so mad she didn't let us have our sandwiches, which is way out of line. I'm going to go out on a limb right now and say that is this way because her parents are failing her.
She's getting everything she wants.
Sounds like she's, after being a menace all day, mom comes over and says, "It's everyone else's fault," takes her away and goes, "Shh, everything's fine. You can have whatever you want. Everything's perfect."
If I were the mom, I'm like, okay, let's call it. The day's over. Like, there's too much stuff going on, and my daughter's having a meltdown. Let's go get her favorite food. It is her birthday. Want to make it at least special for her, but like, we need to have a serious conversation after this.
I think that would be the best play. Once your kid's crying at their birthday, you go, "All right, I think we shut it down," right? So Emily was so mad she didn't let us have our sandwiches. Thankfully, we all brought cash. Otherwise, we would have gone hungry until we went back home to Emily's house. We all bought ourselves food and ate. The random girl that saved me and vouched for me joined us to get food. She apologized that my mom is like that and my sister is so bratty. I explained that she's not my mom, but my mom's cousin, and is my little cousin who's been bratty in the past, but never to this extent, which is true. I'm so used to her temper tantrums, but they were never as bad as this. Most of the girls wanted to go home and even complaining about how they never liked and how they only came because their parents made them. I learned a whole new side of my cousin through the girls from the party that horrified me. One girl said she's glad she's leaving tonight due to something happening the next day. One of the girls secretly texted their mom through the other girl's phone to get her from Emily's house. I decided not to say anything to my parents because they were in the process of moving and my mom was very tired and my dad was at work. Although I was annoyed with my cousin, I also really wanted a cupcake that we ordered the night before from Everything Bunt Cakes. Hey, sometimes your priorities are specific when you're 13. And to celebrate with my cousin her birthday, no matter how cruel she had been. When I went to put my phone down after eating, Emily confronted me again. So I told her why started crying, even though we told her twice without the story changing. Emily said, "It doesn't matter what she did. You made cry. And when she wakes up, I want you to apologize." Yeah, so this is the parents failing. Parents are failing. The reason that your child's a little demon is because you never make them face any consequences. And in their head, they've never done anything wrong.
Could you imagine getting literally 6 witnesses, a random witness, by the way, that's not even your party, telling you pretty much the same story and still not believing it?
Yeah, it's crazy. Just like, you need to apologize to my daughter for getting bit by her. I really didn't care at this point and went back to the pool to see pregnant sister glaring at me and the girls. It made us uncomfortable and I told the girls what happened. Once sister left to spend time with her daughter, we all started talking about As annoying as she was, we were excited to eat our cupcakes. So fast forward to leaving the park. For some reason, we can't all fit into the car, which is fine. I wanted to ride with the girls from the party because we all got close and we're having a great time together. Well, hopped into the car with her sister and said, "Sorry, there's no room. You're going to ride with my mom." All the girls begged for her to ride with her mom so I could ride with them. Ignored all the girls and pouted, saying, "It's my birthday. I can do whatever I want, and I don't want to ride with OP." So I walked to ride with Emily. I turned to see sister glaring at me again. And I think you were right, Keon. I think it's definitely a case of she's clearly just jealous that her friends like her cousin.
You came, you didn't do anything, you just acted the way you acted, and you're just a cooler person than your cousin.
So I get in the car, and it's very awkward. You could cut the tension with a knife. Emily said, "I'm very disappointed in you. You're the oldest of the group and shouldn't be picking on your little cousin. You made her cry and ruined her special day, and I want to know why.
Why did you make her cry? Why were you so rude to her on her special day? Did you know she wants everyone to leave because of you? Emily kept yapping from there. So from there, I began to tell her everything from the night before up until the moment she started crying. Emily's only response was, well, next time you tell me when these things happen and you don't let it build up so much because you ruined my baby's day. Ugh, Emily's pathetic. People, discipline your freaking kids.
The fact that she called you out for being the eldest and like you're the most mature and you're doing the most mature thing by, you know, not doing much. You're just doing what you're supposed to do. She's still calling you out. I'm ready for Emily to be like, you should have been a better role model. You got to be a better role model for her.
I mean, that's basically what she said. She's like, as the oldest, you shouldn't be picking on your cousin. It's like, what? She bit me. She literally was picking on me with her teeth. So we went and grabbed a huge stack of cupcakes and drove back to Emily's house. I was confused why Emily didn't bring in the cupcakes, and I asked if she needed help bringing them in. She said no. Before we went inside, Emily grabbed my shoulder and said, quote, I want you to be nice to no matter what. If she does something you don't like, you come to me. All the girls had showered in the time it took for us to get the cupcakes and come back. I couldn't because the painter people came in to paint with us. We made this beautiful nighttime forest painting. I got creative and made stars through paint splatters. And when all the girls saw what I did, they complimented me on my painting. And even copied it a little. Said that my painting looked ugly, but I really didn't care. I gave her a compliment on hers for making giant trees that gave a fluffy leaf texture. She said, I know it looks good because it looks better than your stupid trees. When I messed up a little, mocked me even when I fixed it. The painter people left after we finished our paintings, so we just waited for dinner. We all started a random movie and played with Ich's niece, while me and Ich started playing the Minecraft together. I decided to get petty revenge on her by Control-Alt-deleting her pet axolotl while we were in creative mode. I was 100% on your side till you mentioned the axolotl slaughtering. I can't get behind that. Me specifically, I cannot do that. Started screaming at me for what I did to her axolotl and almost started crying. Emily glared at me, so I decided to give her back her axolotl by spamming it until the server crashed. She screamed, I hate you! You ruined my birthday! You're the worst cousin ever! And I really didn't care. Was passive-aggressive the rest of the evening towards me and even tried to make it so I can't play or hang out with her niece, who was about 3 years old. She set up her birthday gift from her sister, which was slime. She gave me the ugliest color from the pack because I didn't deserve anything pretty. She gave me the color gray. I didn't care because it's slime. And once it dries up, I'm going to toss it. So fast forward, we had more pizza and everyone wanted to watch Monsters University. All of a sudden has a problem with that movie and says she wants to watch High School Musical, the show. No one wanted to watch a show because we wouldn't finish it before the sleepover ends. We all agreed to compromise by watching the movie, High School Musical, but refused to compromise and demanded we watch the show or a different show. She made a commotion and Emily came out of her room to figure out what was going on. Emily said we can take turns by watching whatever wants first, then we could watch something else after. We all explained that we only want to watch movies and no shows, but Emily refused to listen and turned on a random show wanted to watch. Which, plot twist, she turned on her iPad and played Roblox the whole time, not even pay attention.
This is the one thing about sleepovers, especially if you're the host. Everyone compromises. But if it's a birthday party, I do got to say, you got to do what the birthday person wants to do. I can see the side of being like, this is probably the worst birthday ever. I wanted to have a good time with my friends. My cousin, who's so cool, taking all the stuff. Opie didn't do anything. It's just the natural order of things.
It just feels like they're being competitive, essentially. So we were so fed up with her by this time that the girl with the phone couldn't leave, sadly, but texted me saying how much she hates it here and wants to go home. Once it was finally our turn to pick the movie, we turned on Monsters University. Announced that she was going to make popcorn and grabbed all our popcorn from the goodie bags, even though some of us protested it didn't matter, but we ended up letting it go. My bag was done first, and said to me, hey, OP, catch this. I told her no. For starters, that's a burning hot bag of liquid butter and hot fresh popcorn. That will definitely burn me. Not to mention that there was steam coming off the bag, and had to pinch the bag to not burn herself. Said, I don't care, catch it. She tossed the bag of hot popcorn and it burned me. My hand turned red from the burn, but a chunk of the butter splashed from my thumb, burning it the worst. I also couldn't move out of the way without messing up the beds and the princess tent behind the bed, which you must protect the princess tent at all costs.
The castle now.
I screamed in pain. All the girls ran to me and see how bad the burn is. Emily ran in to see why I was screaming. I, in fact, did cry a little while everyone was checking on me. Stood in the back, arms crossed, glaring at me for getting attention. I had a first-degree burn on my hand, but my thumb looked like a combo first and second-degree burn. No blisters, but coming close to blistering. It was painful, and I ran my hand under cold water and got an ice pack. Emily told to apologize to me, and she gave me a sarcastic apology and rolled her eyes at me.
I'm sorry.
And let me guess, Emily probably didn't do anything about that, huh? Emily left and didn't do much with the situation. I had to spend the night with an ice pack while all the girls gave the silent treatment and checked up on me. By the next day, it felt like an evacuation when the girls' moms came to the door. They got all their belongings and basically ran out of the door to leave. I, unfortunately, was the last one there. My mom was grabbing the last of our stuff from the old house before she got me. And by the way, if you want to listen to our old stuff, you can find full episodes with stories like this. All you got to do is go to Spotify or Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to podcasts and search OK Storytime. And there you will find us. But we have a little bit more left of the story. You know, I think most of this can just be chalked up to the
Bad parenting, bad adulting, just not
You know.
like listening to kids and the oldest. This is like a common case, it seems like a lot of the time. Stop feeding your kids, all the entitlement. As an adult, you want to make the best of your child and make their day, but you got to be an adult too.
It's just a pure force of nature. She's so annoying.
OP was trying to be mature the entire time, it seems like. Again, with Emily, the mom, saying, oh, come to me if anything else happens. But it's like, it's so awkward. And keep in mind, OP, at the end of the day, is also a kid.
Whoever's in charge of her has failed her by not allowing her to experience what seems like any semblance of accountability for their actions. All right, let's finish this. I forgot to mention earlier on day one, my cousin gave me this pretty choker. It was all black with a really pretty pendant. When my mom got there, made me take it off and gave me this old orange one that had rust on the side. Oh, lovely. Little tetanus. It had a tag with a paw print on it. Within a month, the choker broke on me out of nowhere and the pendant fell as well. Before we left, Emily told my mom about how I'm very mean and how I treated poorly. I was so glad to leave, but then had to explain what happened to my mom, then my dad, once I got home. I didn't mention the burning incident because I'd be starting a war in the family if I mentioned everything that happened. Anyways, I don't talk to she doesn't talk to me either. Also, none of my cousins like her. I often catch family members talking crap about her and her mom. Almost all the cousins that are Gen Z and under talk the most crap about her, and everyone avoids her. And that's the end of that story.
Wow. You already caught the red flags. You're like, oh, no, none of her friends came and none of the other cousins came. There's a reasoning for that.
You're not alone. She's insufferable.
Yeah.
That's the word I was looking for earlier.
But that's the end of that story. I rejected my cousin's wedding invitation because his fiance insulted me.
Get rejected, insulter.
I, 28 female, was invited to my cousin's wedding. It's a pretty big deal in my family because Jake, 28 male, is the first in my family to get married. However, I rejected the invite because his fiance doesn't like me. By the way, this comes from user SadlyAwk, and you can submit your stories on the r/OK Storytime subreddit. When we first met, she kind of just glared at me. At first, I thought it was just because she might be awkward meeting new people, or it's because Amy, 30 female, is from abroad. But I think she just genuinely doesn't like me. She always has made undermined comments about me, whether it was about me being a single mom, dropping college, or going back, or even just what I eat. She makes these weird comments that I just brush off. Some examples of this during this past week. 1. At a family party, I was talking about my son having a parent event for his soccer club. I said I was a bit nervous participating, and Amy, of course, told me, well, it's your fault. The dad isn't in the picture to do so.
That seems like a really unnecessary shot to take at somebody.
And second example, I've gained a lot of weight recently, 30 pounds, and Amy said I shouldn't be ordering anything but soups and salads for the good of myself while at a restaurant. You Amy, I already don't like you. Earlier this week, Jake and Amy came over to invite my family and I to the wedding. After they left, my sister tells me that she was asked to be a bridesmaid by Amy. I didn't think anything of it and said, congratulations. But when my sister asked me if I was one, I said, no. She looked surprised. Apparently, Amy and Jake had all their siblings and cousins to be bridesmaids and groomsmen. I didn't know, and I was honestly a little sad, but I just said, it's whatever. My sister was mad on my behalf and went to complain to my parents and aunts. Long story short, this has started a fight between Jake and Amy versus my entire family. Jake's mom was really angry that I wasn't part of the bridal party. But Jake and Amy don't want me to be a bridesmaid because I'm not a traditional woman. I thought it was just getting to be too much, so I decided that I shouldn't go. Am I sad? Yeah. I'll feel left out, but it's not my wedding. I don't want to fight with Jake or Amy about it. My family doesn't want to go anymore, but I said I'll be fine. They can go enjoy the wedding. Amy did reach out to me yesterday about it. She said, sorry, I didn't pick you as a bridesmaid because you don't match my image, and I want a traditional wedding, and you aren't that. Then going on how I would make the wedding pictures uneven.
This is just so extra. When you hate someone this intensely, just come out and say it.
I just responded, I'm not going anymore. I don't need your reasonings or whatever you think. I thought this would make Amy happy, but she wasn't. She angry texted in all caps, F you. I don't even know why I considered inviting you. You should be regretting not coming. I'm not sure how to feel, but I'm not alone. I was thinking of just going to the beach with my son that day just so I can distract myself. But my whole family all told me I should go to the wedding.
Man, you gotta love the cognitive dissonance of like shouting at somebody through text and then also being like, you're gonna regret not coming. It's like, are you sure? I feel like I already am secure in my decision.
And then you just hit them with the K. But my whole family all told me I should go to the wedding. I don't really feel welcome, and Jake hasn't told me anything. But am I the a-hole for letting this argument with the bride affect my presence at her wedding? And there's some comments, but Dakota?
No.
No.
Why would you want to go somewhere to celebrate someone who hates you?
Could you imagine getting under someone's skin that bad that even if when you don't go to the wedding, you piss him off even more?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. This person just has like a vendetta against you. So, yeah, of course you're not the a-hole for being like, I think I'll exclude myself from that.
What did you do to Amy to really just hate you?
Yeah, what did you do, OP?
Comment 1. Not the a-hole. No doy. I wonder though, have you spoken to Jake directly about this? You said that Jake and Amy don't approve of you, but where did that statement come from? Jake is the one you would be there to support, not Amy. Either way, this definitely isn't your fault. OP replied, Jake didn't formally say anything towards me, but his mom told me that he agrees with whatever Amy says. Yep, you're a little whipped. And if me not being in the bridal party is what Amy wants, then Jake agrees.
To just have a little bit more nuance on that, it's unhealthy to just be like a clone or a mirror of whatever your partner deems they want or need. Yeah, it's like you need to be your own person in a relationship with someone else who is their own person.
Comment number 2. Not the a-hole. You don't match my image. I want a traditional wedding and you aren't that. What the F does that even mean, Jake and Amy? OP replies, from what I'm guessing, I think because I'm a single mom and I'm more chubby in comparison to a lot of my cousins, so she's been kind of irked with me since forever.
She's trying to be nice. She's trying to lift herself up by putting someone else down.
Comment number 3, not the a-hole. Are you close with Jake? Would you attend if you were marrying anyone else? I'd attend just to piss her off and make it clear you are there to celebrate with Jake, not her. I love how your family has your back. This is all her and nothing to do with you. If you choose the beach for the day with your son, which sounds amazing as a beach lover, I wish you warm weather and no jellyfish.
Heck yeah, dude. I like that one. That's a good comment.
OP replies, I'm from a small town, and since Jake and I are the same age, we were always together growing up in school/clubs. Even after college, he was nice to me when I gave birth to my son. It's just after he met Amy, he started being distant. I honestly would love to go just for his behalf, but I would rather not have to go to a wedding fighting someone, especially the bride. And we do have an update, and we're just going to go straight into that.
Let's dive in.
Hi, everyone. It's been a few days. I have read all the comments and private messages sent to me. Thank you for your advice and personal stories. It did help me see clear of my situation. Also, I think I need to clarify some things from my last post. Number 1, my relationship with Jake is similar to having a childhood friend or having an older brother. We used to do everything together when we were younger. Even when I moved and had a kid, Jake used to call or message me on how I was doing every once in a while. It was only when he started seeing Amy he became distant. Number 2, my whole family has seen the messages Amy has sent me. I have a very small family, so news gets around pretty fast. I only have my dad's 2 siblings, and they're like 4 cousins between all of us and my grandparents. We are all very close and even have a family group chat. However, they only want me to go just to keep some peace. My family has made it a point that they don't like Amy. She says weird comments about everyone, but everyone loves Jake, so they want to support him. I said that I would only update if something big happens, and I guess this counts. But I was able to meet up with Jake. It was by accident. I bumped into him at the grocery store. He came up to me while I was picking out some bread and said, "Hello." We awkwardly chatted a bit, the usual, "How are you?" etc. But then my stomach started to rumble. It was already 3:30 p.m. and I had not eaten all day. He started laughing at me, and I started to hit him because he started making fun of me. It was oddly nice. Even though he was making fun of me, it felt like I had my old friend back. He invited me to our childhood restaurant for a late lunch, and I said yes. We ate and just chatted like we did before when we were kids. It was such a nostalgic feeling talking to him without Amy. But of course, he mentioned the elephant in the room.
Did he just call Amy an elephant? No, I'm just kidding.
So, OP, you're not going to come to my wedding? I couldn't look at him, and so I just stared at my plate and said, "Amy doesn't seem like she wants me there, and I want you to have a happy wedding. Even if that means I'm not there, I want you to celebrate your wedding with Amy." He couldn't look at me either, so he just stared outside the window. He said, "You're not the first person to say something like this." He then explained that Amy has been having similar experiences to many of Jake's groomsmen, other friends, and his own sister.
Hey, now is the time to give him the wake-up call. Be like, oh, everyone wants to not go to your wedding because maybe Amy, dude, maybe you shouldn't marry her.
Yeah, maybe cold feet is the best thing here. Amy wants a perfect wedding without flaws, according to Jake. They had a big argument, and Amy is now staying at a hotel nearby to get away from Jake and his parents.
The marriage hasn't even started yet. This is not a great way to kick off the wedding.
He kept sighing the whole time. He covered his face with his hands and asked, "Should I even get married?"
The doubt! It's there!
I was shocked. Jake has always done everything for Amy these last 5 years. He has never thought of himself before. I sighed and said, "Everyone wants you to be happy. That's why we're supported you to be with Amy, because we love you. But if you're not happy, then we will support you in whatever we can to help you. It's your choice at the end of the day. But hey, I'm not perfect with relationships either. My baby daddy is God knows where." He just chuckled a little and said, "I'm sorry for how I've been treating you. I wanted to please and be supportive of Amy, but I ended up letting her say horrible things about you. I'm not a good best friend or cousin for letting you and everyone else experience that too." Aw, this is very sweet.
That's wholesome.
I just hugged him and said, "If you want to have a wedding, I'll be happy for you. But if you decide not to, I'll probably be at the beach that day. So probably inviting him to the beach if you want to come through." He laughed and said he's going to talk to Amy. He said he just wants to confirm something before he starts preparing for a wedding. He had a sad smile on his face, and we went on our separate ways.
I feel like you should have pushed him more to not be married to this woman.
I think OP is just trying to be the best, neutral ground they can be and just be as supportive as they can be, which we've read.
There was one neutral party in the Second World War, and that's where Germany went through to get to France. They just went through Belgium. Don't be Belgium. Don't let your cousin get married to this terrible woman. Or at least let it be known, yeah, I think you can do way better. I think maybe you've ended up in a toxic, codependent type relationship. She's trying to isolate him from his family.
If your entire family is having troubles with one person, maybe they're the problem and it's not you.
The statistical likelihood that they're the problem is 100%.
But also, the family's just so supportive. It seems like because it's a tight family and everyone's very loving, and they're he's the first one getting married, and if he's happy, we're happy. But
it's the delicate, the soft approach of well, I just want you to be happy. And if you're happy with her, then we'll be happy for you. And if you're not, we'll be happy to support you in any way that you need. And it's you need to be hey, you're going to be miserable with this woman. She's a monster. Do not marry her because it's risky, because then if they do get married, it's going to be really awkward. But I say it's better to live in the truth than to tiptoe around in a lie. Just embody the truth with your chest, for real.
And you know what I want you to embody?
I want to know. Tell me.
You can embody everything, happiness, sadness, all the emotions, by listening to full episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcast, or your favorite podcast app and search OK Storytime.
That's literally all it takes.
Feel all the emotions. Let's just go straight into the end of it. Hopefully, Jake doesn't get married. In the last few days, Jake and I, other friends started messaging me that they think it's over for Amy and Jake. Jake went to talk with a lot of our friends and other family to talk about Amy's behavior and apologize to them formally. I was a bit surprised how serious Jake is taking this, just because he's never done this before. He always kept quiet and just yes-man Amy for so long. I don't know the situation with the wedding yet, but I hope my cousin will feel better soon. Even Amy, I hope she realizes Jake's feelings as well.
Wow. Wow. No way. We need an update. There's got to be an update.
But I was going to say at the beginning, I was like, oh, Jake's just a moron. But Jake is just, maybe he's never really had this experience and he's just doesn't know how relationships work. And I think finally he's witnessing right at the finish line. He's like, hold up, this is not right.
Well, and sometimes, things can evolve, right? Situations and relationships can evolve and it can start really, really good and it can be good for a long time. And then maybe because of how good it was, you don't see it shift.
OP did from the very get-go. She was like, once Jake started seeing Amy, it just he changed everything. He stopped talking to me. He just wasn't himself.